Welcome back to my channel. I'm Jane Novak and I'm here to point you to your truth. And today I would like to talk to you about what happens actually on your spiritual awakening and the journey. The thing is about spiritual awakening, it's a one-way ticket. And one-way tickets sometimes can be completely scary because once you see what you see, you cannot unsee it. And with that comes challenges and changes at the same time as you start experiencing more peace, more freedom. Deep down, it's terrifying to the ego, of course, because you completely leave old ways behind and you start embodying the new ways. You start embodying peace gradually in your daily life. And for many, it can be a scary experience. So, number one, what happens is, like I mentioned, you cannot unsee what you see. The truth of who you are, how the world operates. You start seeing how people operate on conditioning and patterns and traumas from childhood. And you see that so clearly that it can be painful, especially when you're people like loved ones and you see them clearly suffering. So, one thing to remember is that there's only one reality, of course. This is all, there's no separation. We awaken to the illusion of separation and understanding it is not what it appears to be. But at the same time, you have to accept the challenges of waking up. You have to accept a little bit of grief that comes with it as well. You have to accept that your old ways, old comfort zones will never be in the vicinity any longer. It will be harder for you to hang out with certain people. It will be harder for you to build relationships because you clearly see that people operate on certain patterns that they don't know themselves who they are. So it's like a very robotic way of existing. And that's not going to resonate with you any longer. And it can be challenging for a lot of you to accept that as well. Number two, you're going to notice that the more on a positive side, you're going to notice that they are definitely new way you operate and new things are coming up, such as changes in your personality on a personal level. And you're going to notice as this body mind, this avatar, so to speak, you start behaving differently and it happens effortlessly. You become better with boundaries because you understand boundaries come from loving discernment of what the truth is and not from the ego. You also actually can develop certain characteristics that you haven't even seen in yourself before, or they were there, but they were kind of dormant and now they start coming up. You actually start seeing the version of yourself, the tapped in version, the tuned in version of yourself that is completely giving you a sense of clear changes that are happening within you and around you. And the third point, what I wanted to come to is that that's exactly what happens. Your surroundings start changing as well, because as we know it, there's no separation. There's only one reality. At this point, you know it experientially. You've been tapping in, embodying it, and integrating it on your body-mind level. And now you start realizing that your thoughts might be kind of bringing the manifestations faster, or you think about someone, that person shows up, or you think about something that comes from your heartfelt or impersonal self, things start showing up in life. And people will be, obviously, you will lose a lot of people on your path that do not belong on your path at this point. They belong in a different realm, so to speak, and that's okay. Another thing you're going to notice, what I want to bring up, is that the world going to feel like it's the same world. We all see it physically exactly the same, maybe from different angles, right? But you're going to notice that as if you walk on this earth, you walk on this planet, you walk on in this world, but certain people not going to even come across. They might be living around you, or they might be the closest proximity and vicinity. They will never cross your path because vibrationally you are in a way in a different frequency. So that is not going to affect you any longer. And also you're going to feel that more and more you're not separated indeed, and the world is in you, the whole universe is in you. And if you need more tips on how to establish like that, really tap to yourself as awareness and stay as awareness, let me know what exactly you want me to talk about in the next video. Or maybe you want a little bit of a more deep dive on certain aspects that I mentioned today. In any case, you're going to notice a tremendous shift. If, in a sense, you still feel very depressed and you've been on non-dual awakening path, or maybe from certain teachers, you're learning a lot and you still feel depressed, that's not the sense of what happens when you awaken, because there is the fear that you're just going to go nuts and you're going to lose everything. That's actually quite the opposite. Yes, you will have challenging moments, like I mentioned why previously, but there will be no sense of lack whatsoever. And that will be more and more apparent to you. That would mean that you are indeed releasing the notion of separation, and you experientially seeing it as it is, which is, again, physically, it's the same world, but the perception is completely different. I hope that served you today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. See you in my next video.